The pre-dawn air is cold and sharp. You stand at the edge of a Roman war camp listening carefully. Around you, iron chains clink softly in the darkness. Something enormous breathes steadily in the shadows right beside you. You reach down slowly. Your fingers touch coarse, thick fur stretched over powerful trembling muscle, warm and alive. These are not ordinary animals. These are Rome's most devastating and carefully guarded secret, the Roman war dogs. The sun has not yet risen, but your heart already pounds with the ancient rhythm of approaching battle drums. You smell leather, iron, and something wild, the unmistakable scent of a creature bred solely for warfare itself. Your centurion raises his fist in silence. The dogs sense it immediately. Low growls ripple through the cold morning fog. You tighten your grip on the worn leather leash. The enormous beast beside you strains forward, fearless and completely ready. Across the valley, your enemies light their torches. They have absolutely no idea what is about to reach them. The signal horn sounds its deep note. You release the leash. The earth itself shakes beneath 100 charging paws. The enemy line falters. Men who faced Roman legions without flinching now scatter desperately before these ferocious, unleashed beasts. You advance behind your four-legged brothers, shield raised, heart hammering, feeling something ancient and utterly unstoppable surging beside you. This is how Rome truly fought, not only with swords and shields, but with loyalty forged into living weapons. These dogs did not simply obey orders, they understood war. They remembered enemies. They never once retreated from battle. This is their story, and the story of the great empire they helped build, one ferocious battle at a time. The Roman war dog was not a battlefield improvisation. It was the product of centuries of careful, deliberate, selective breeding. Ancient sources document their battlefield role extensively. The Roman poet Gratius describes specific war dog breeds with remarkable scholarly precision. In his first-century work Synagetica, Gratius praised the Canis pugnax as a supreme fighting animal without any equal. The Molossian hound, originating from Epirus in northwestern Greece, became the cornerstone of Rome's entire military canine breeding program. Columella, the renowned Roman agricultural writer, described the Molossian as ferocious in battle, but deeply gentle with trusted handlers. These were not random selections. Roman military commanders chose breeds based on measured size, controlled temperament, and raw bite strength. Modern scholars at Oxford's Faculty of Classics confirm that Roman military records contain detailed accounts of organized canine combat units. The British Museum holds remarkable artifacts, bronze figurines and carved stone reliefs depicting armored Roman war dogs in active combat. Researchers at Sapienza University in Rome have analyzed skeletal remains suggesting intentional selective breeding for large, powerful canine military warriors. Roman war dogs served in at least 4 distinct military roles, each requiring specialized conditioning and very specific breed characteristics. The first role was the attack dog, released directly into enemy formations to cause immediate chaos and overwhelming psychological terror. The second role was the sentry dog, posted at camp perimeters to detect approaching enemies hours before any human guard could. The third role was the messenger dog, trained to carry vital communications across battlefields far too dangerous for human runners. The fourth role was the tracker, deployed to pursue retreating enemies and locate hidden ambush positions in dense terrain. Rome did not improvise these tactical roles. Each canine function was codified, rigorously practiced, and carefully refined across hundreds of years. The first large-scale recorded use of Roman war dogs occurred during the Cimbrian War of 113 to 101 BCE. Historical accounts describe how General Marius deployed trained war dogs against Germanic tribes at the pivotal Battle of Aquae Sextiae. The psychological impact was immediate and devastating. Germanic warriors who faced legions calmly broke and fled before the unleashed dogs. This was no accident. Roman commanders understood that fear was itself a weapon, and dogs weaponized the deepest human instincts. The campaigns in Britannia under Julius Caesar in 55 BCE revealed a startling truth. Celtic tribes also fielded fearsome war dogs. Caesar's Gallic Wars describes his astonishment at encountering British war dogs of extraordinary size during his initial coastal landing operations. Rome immediately began capturing and incorporating superior British breeds into its own military canine programs with characteristic Roman strategic efficiency. The Dacian Wars of Emperor Trajan, documented vividly on Trajan's column, show handlers leading massive war dogs alongside advancing legions. Trajan's column, studied extensively by archaeologists at the Museo della Civiltà Romana, depicts at least 6 distinct dog handler battlefield scenes. The dog handlers themselves, specialists called overseers of the canes bellici, received training entirely separate from standard legionary military curriculum. Roman law formally protected military dogs in active service. Killing a war dog in service was prosecuted as a serious military offense. This legal protection reflected Rome's understanding that these animals represented significant investment in time, resources, and irreplaceable trained military capability. Each war dog required approximately 2 full years of intensive conditioning before being considered battle-ready for frontline military deployment. Roman veterinary texts, including writings by Vegetius, outlined specific dietary requirements and health protocols for maintaining military dogs at peak condition. The Pax Romana depended not only on military might, but on the psychological dominance that well-deployed Roman war dogs helped establish. If Roman roads were the empire's nervous system, then Roman war dogs were its razor-sharp claws, hidden and lethal. The armor worn by Roman war dogs represented an engineering achievement as sophisticated as any legionary's own segmented plate armor. Archaeological finds at Pompeii and along Hadrian's Wall have revealed iron-studded leather collars designed specifically for deployed Roman canine combatants. These collars were never decorative. They were spiked outward specifically to protect the dog's throat during intense grappling and combat. Wealthier Roman commanders equipped their war dogs with full body armor, articulated bronze plates individually fitted to each animal's frame. Excavations at Vindolanda Fort near Hadrian's Wall uncovered fragments scholars now tentatively identify as components of ancient canine body armor. The Roman war dog was, in purely military terms, a self-guided projectile, impossible to recall once released, unstoppable once committed. Roman tacticians deployed war dogs in 3 primary configurations, each carefully designed for a specific terrain type and battlefield scenario. The first configuration was the wave release, dogs sent in a single mass charge directly into massed enemy infantry formations. This tactic proved devastating against tightly packed formations where mass panic spread faster and more completely than any cavalry charge could. The second configuration was flank disruption. Small packs released at the enemy's exposed flanks at the critical engagement moment. Flank disruption prevented enemies from executing dangerous encirclement maneuvers, protecting Rome's legionaries from being surrounded during complex military engagements. The third configuration was night terror. Armored dogs released silently into enemy camps under absolute darkness for maximum psychological devastation. Roman historian Polyaenus documented several verified instances where 30 war dogs released at night routed entire enemy garrisons completely. The Molossian hound, Rome's primary war breed, weighed up to 180 pounds and stood nearly 3 feet at the shoulder. Modern canine behavioral studies confirm that a dog of this mass, moving at full speed, generates impact force exceeding 600 newtons. Against lightly armored ancient warriors, that raw impact force alone, before any bite, was often sufficient to incapacitate a soldier. The estimated bite force of Molossian-type breeds exceeded 700 pounds per square inch, comparable to a modern Rottweiler, and possibly significantly exceeding it. Roman military kennels called canicula militaris were positioned at the rear of marching formations to keep dogs calm on campaign. These kennels were entirely modular, disassembled and loaded onto supply wagons, then reassembled at each camp with precise Roman efficiency. Feeding Roman war dogs was a serious logistical challenge. Each dog consumed approximately 8 pounds of fresh meat daily on campaign. Dedicated dog ration allocations were tracked in Roman military supply ledgers, evidence found in papyri from Roman Egypt and Syria. Training was a progressive system. Dogs began socialization at 8 weeks, then prey drive development, then full combat conditioning programs. Roman dog trainers employed methods remarkably similar to modern military working dog programs, reward-based, repetitive, and completely scenario-specific in design. At the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE, Roman war dogs were specifically trained to target Carthaginian elephant handlers with precision. This tactical adaptation demonstrates Rome's remarkable capacity to evolve its entire war dog doctrine in response to new threats encountered. The psychological legacy of Roman war dogs extended far beyond battlefields. Enemy tribes spoke of them with deep fear for generations. Germanic tribes began selectively breeding larger dogs specifically to counter Roman canine units, an ancient arms race in fur and iron. In siege warfare, Roman war dogs were sent through breach points to clear enemy defenders immediately before the main infantry assault. Like a self-repairing legion formation, Roman war dog units were replaced, retrained, and redeployed, a living system of regenerating military power. Stand again in that pre-dawn darkness. Your hand rests on warm fur, feeling that ancient living pulse beneath your palm. You understand now what Rome truly understood, that loyalty, when trained and purposeful, becomes the most powerful weapon ever created. The Roman war dog did not choose its battlefield, yet it gave everything, completely without hesitation, never asking reasons why. A Stoic lesson emerges here across every century. Marcus Aurelius taught that raw strength without purpose produces only noise and chaos. The Roman war dog embodied virtues, Rome's highest ideal of courage and excellence, placed wholly in service of something greater. It did not fight for glory or recognition. It fought through pure, absolute loyalty alone. For Rome, that was always enough. Modern military K-9 units trace their direct lineage to Roman doctrine. Same roles, same bonds, same irreplaceable battlefield value maintained. Today, over 50 nations employ military working dogs in roles virtually identical to those codified by Roman commanders 2,000 years ago. The bond between Roman soldier and war dog was never mere utility. It was genuine partnership, trust forged purely in fire. Roman epitaphs honoring fallen war dogs have been uncovered from Britannia to Syria, each one a monument to genuine grief. One inscription found near the Rhine reads simply, "To my faithful companion who never turned away, you were braver than I." That inscription collapses 2,000 years into one enduring human truth. Loyalty does not expire, and courage needs no language. You carry that truth forward, in your discipline, your loyalty, your refusal to abandon those who stand beside you in darkness. Rome's greatest weapon was never its roads or its legions alone. It was the unshakable will to fight beside the faithful. The empire has fallen, the great war dogs are gone, but their lesson, give everything completely, echoes through every age forever.